All right, so number 9 is about the people in Iran and healthcare. There is a need to focus more on provisioning more medication in Iran in regards to their healthcare system. It seems to be that there will be a shortage of medication in Iran around the last quarter of 2022, and many officials will have to do it the best that they can to remedy that situation. So, working early on provisioning as much medication as possible for the population on various health issues will be incredibly beneficial for the people of Iran. So, if you are working for the healthcare system in Iran, so making sure that medication system provisioning system for the medication system, for medication I should say, is well taken care of. If you are in Iran and work in the healthcare service there and listening to this. All right, so that is number 9. Number 10 is about the world healthcare system. All right, due to the economy or stagnancy of the economy and COVID and so on and so forth, this is more of an invitation to fix the problem. Healthcare systems all around the world, we need a bit of revamp as to accommodate all the stuff that are happening in the economy and of course around the healthcare system due to COVID. So that's number 10. 11 is about the USA and armed conflict. So the US may get itself involved in some type of armed conflict in Europe, Central Europe, most definitely. But it is not advisable for the US to get involved with such conflict, as it will create a cascade effect that will generate a downward spiral in the European economy, which will affect the African economy drastically. Not so much the US economy, but the European and African economy. So this is something that will happen in Central Europe, and the US may want to get involved, but it should not get involved because of the economical disaster that it will create due to certain intervention and how those interventions will play out. All right, so that is number 11. So number 12 is a bit, this is actually an issue that has to do with the Western economy, especially the Western African currency. So if you are an African or a person dealing with the economy or involved or interested in the Western African region economy, there seems to be an issue with France needing to get involved, as France had a great deal of power on the French-speaking countries' currency. Right. So as those African countries are trying to come together, the English-speaking ones and the French-speaking ones, this is an invitation. This is an invitation as a way to solve a problem. One does not have to apply it as provided, but it is certainly a solution that can work for the interest of those European countries and the African countries interest as well. So as far as handling the issue of that currency, it will seem that a solution that requires all member countries to create a union that will involve France and maybe England as a member nation, not as a nation that has power over decisions that has to be made in regards to the currency, but as a member nation of the currency itself. Okay, as a member nation of the currency, okay, but not as a governing body, as a governing nation of that, on the decisions that have to be made to control or to decide how that currency should be used and policies around that currency. I'm referring, of course, to those European nations who have interest in that currency. Those European nations need not to be involved with choosing to become decision makers for policies of such currency, but try to become more as member nations of the governing or the governance of such currency, if that makes sense. Okay, so that is number 12. Now, this is number 13, is about the drought in the Sahel region in Africa. It will get worse in 2022, and the best way to mitigate that, this is also an invitation to solve a problem, or you can also call it a prediction, is to plant more date trees, acacia trees, and baobab trees. Okay, those 3 types of trees will help a great deal. I know that there is a program there already to plant as many trees as possible to stop the desertification, but planting more of such trees will help a great deal. Also, one thing that it will be incredibly helpful for that region and to stop the desertification is to invite a team of civil engineers and water management professionals in Holland, specifically in Holland. I don't know why, but that's the way the energy is set up. So if you're working toward stopping the desertification in the Sahel region in Africa, planting those 3 types of trees, acacia, baobab, and date trees, will help a great deal. And also inviting in civil engineers from Holland, water management engineers from Holland, will help a great deal. That combination of effort will create a breakthrough in slowing down the desertification. That is number 13 regarding desertification problems in Africa and the drought issue in the Sahel region. Number 14, this is about COVID. The first half of 2022 will be somewhat similar to what we're experiencing now in the last half of 2021. That the COVID infection rate numbers will be somewhat similar to what we're experiencing now, but it'll tailor down toward the second half of 2022. So that is a good news, actually. The numbers will go down, the infection rate will go down in the second half of 2022. So that is number 14 for the COVID issue. Now, this is number 15 is a bit of a sad information. This is specifically in regards to African Americans living in the South. if you're African Americans living in the South of the USA, you need to watch out for kidnappings, especially kidnappings of women, black women, as there are some organizations or people out there who will try to kidnap black people, especially black women, for organ harvesting. Okay, this is the sad news, but if you live in the South, you're black, then you need to watch out, okay, and just take as many precautions as possible to stop kidnappings, problems, and communities and organizations there need to do the best they can to protect their communities. Okay, so that is a bit of sad news, but that is something that's definitely worth noting and bringing forth as to mitigate that issue in 2022.